Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is petplatypus here, and it's time to review 2 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, episodes 84 and 85. Starting with 84. This was a really dark episode, but it was really interesting as well. We get the first Royal Guard being born, and we get some more ant stuff looking for Pockle, because he kind of tried to hide and stuff. And we get stuff with Go and Kill One Kite, and the lion dude, and the chick who does not even look at all like any kind of animal. She literally looks like a person with sharp teeth, which is weird. And that really scary looking dude with like the big eyes and like the weird beak thing and the crazy hair. So there's that. Starting with the Go and Kill One Kite stuff, it's basically just they're going through the forest, they're getting chased by the crazy scary looking dude with the crazy hair, and he's got like bugs. But we cut over to the lion dude, and he has like this funny, like quirky little conversation with the girl. She's all happy and peppy and stuff. And he kind of talks about how he's like a predator and everything. So he has a lot of his, he's kind of interesting because he has the personality of a lion with the intelligence of a human. And it's definitely a very interesting dynamic of that character. But I don't think he's relevant, really. And he might be relevant, but for now he's just kind of a regular Chimera ant that we've been seeing. And he's not really that important so far. But that's an interesting dynamic to the character, so I like that. But they get scared away because Kite's a badass. You know, he does like another fucking roll. We don't know what he rolled with his fucking slot machine this time, but the scythe looked different, and it seemed like he could probably attack with it more than once. Maybe. Oh, sorry about that. I'm fucking yawning these days. Yeah. That's pretty much the whole part. They leave, and they say they're going to come back after they master this new ability, and then Kite says, let's follow him. Then we have the stuff with the ants, and we have Pockle, who is no longer with the sack of, you know, the bags of meat, you know, the dead humans. He is hiding in the skulls, which is a good idea, because that's where they're throwing the leftover bullshit, so why would a real person be there? That makes no sense. So, I mean, that's a good hiding spot. But he can barely move because he had antidote with him that helped him. But it's not going to be enough. He can't move that well because of the poison from the stinger that hit him. Yeah, and then we have fucking Rabbit Dude getting way too cocky, dude. Way too cocky. Like, excuse me. He's getting way too cocky. This dude's just like, yo, with this Nen power, I'm gonna fucking conquer, bro. I'm gonna be the king. And then the first Royal Guard hatches, and he's like, whoa. Like, this dude just, like, freaks the fuck out. And she, he, it, I'm not gonna judge yet, because it's fucking Hunter x Hunter. He, she, or it walks up. Cat-looking thing. And I'm probably just gonna say she, but I don't really consider it a she, but it's just easy to say, because that's what it looks most similar to. Walks up, intimidates the fuck out of him. Reminded me of something from Toriko. Specifically, it reminded me of the scene really early in Toriko where he conquers a Troll Kong, and you like see his intimidation beast like petting it. Kind of reminded me of that, except this probably, no, this definitely came before Toriko. But yeah, she just overwhelms the dude. Like, her overwhelming fucking aura and presence makes this guy just fall back in line like a fucking soldier. And she starts looking stuff up and studying about this mysterious power, and she figures out how to manipulate the brain. And she knows Pockle's hiding in the skulls, which is just kind of hacks. Well, not hacks, but it's cool that she knew that and could just sense him. It was interesting. And she gets his brain to be manipulated to say everything about Nen, and I mean, yeah, they need to learn how Nen works, but I don't think we needed to hear that entire thing. I mean, we almost got the entire breakdown of Nen, like a huge section of the episode. Not a huge section, but a decent-sized section of this episode was how Nen works, which we know at this point. And yeah, the Chimera Ants have to learn it, but I think it could have been off-screen. We don't need to learn it, they do. So that was a little problematic. I thought that was a little unnecessary, kind of wasted time a bit. But it was a very dark scene. A very depressing scene to watch, honestly. Like, you're watching it, and it's just like, wow, like, this is just, like, fucking rough shit. But yeah, and she calls herself Neferpitou, and she turns out to be, or Neferpito, and she turns out to be a fucking specialist, which is just even more hacks. The Rabbit Dude's an enhancer. That makes sense, given his personality. We don't know what Colt is, but Colt now has Nen, which is cool. I like Colt. Now that there are royal guards showing up, I don't know how relevant he's going to be. I just feel like he's not going to be relevant anymore for some reason. But maybe he will be. That's like been the main ant for this entire time, but we never know. But yeah, Neferpito, the first royal guard, insanely fucking strong, put everybody in their place instantly. Born with Nen, which is very interesting. Learned how to manipulate the brain by studying the fucking books and everything. Just clearly a cut above the rest compared to all the other Chimera ants. So, we'll see what she can do. I mean, again, it's an it, but, you know, I'm going to say she because that's just what it looks like. But yeah, overall, I thought this actually was a really good episode. Not a ton of progression. Like I said, we know what her Nen is. A royal guard's born, which right there is good progression because they've been cooking for a while now, and they're finally one of them's finally out of the oven. But yeah, no real major progression like Gon and Killua, and then they haven't like reached the nest yet. They're getting closer. They're following what's it called, but definitely not a slow-paced episode, but just not an episode with a ton of progression. The animation was fine overall. I like this new royal guard. I mean, I've seen pictures of it, her, she, he, whatever. I've seen pictures of this character. It's one of the prominent ants, obviously. She's in the opening or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what she'll do, what her powers are, you know, what she's capable of. So we'll just see where things go. But yeah, I'll give this episode 8 out of 10. I would go 7.5, but I push it up to an 8 just because I like that a royal guard was born. I like the personality that she has, and the just I don't know, the way the episode went so dark was just definitely interesting. So yeah, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. So I'll see you guys in 85. Okay, so episode 85 of Hunter x Hunter. This was a heavy one. We got Chimera ants doing Chimera ant shit. They're doing the Nen thing. The rabbit dude is punching everybody so he can unlock Nen for them. This is clearly making these ants... This entire ant species is about to get, like, seriously fucking overpowered right now. But that's, you know, progression overall. We have Kite, Gon, and Killua. Fucking Kite. I'll get to it. Fuck. We have Kite, Gon, and Killua walking through, and Killua was kind of talking about how Kite's the first real pro we've been with, who's like a master or even beyond a master. You know, you have Wing and you have Biscuit and everything, but they're not, you know, they were mentors and everything. And he's kind of just talking about how Jing wanted to training. It was kind of stuff we already really know, kind of, and it kind of already established some of this stuff. But, like Jing having Greed Island to be for Gon's training and stuff. Talking about what task Kite has, and he's basically just says, I'm not going to train you guys. We don't have time for that. You're either strong enough or you're going to get eaten by the ants. It's that simple. And he ends up giving Gon Jing's Hunter ID because he had it with him. It was almost like the same situation Hisoka had with Gon, where it was like, you know, bring me back the card or whatever. So Jing was like, bring me back my card. He found Jing, completely forgot he had the card, so he still has it. That's kind of funny. And he gives it to Gon, and then Gon's like, I'll bring it to Jing. And as they get closer, Neferpito senses them, which means his N is just insane. Like, the radius is crazy. It goes outside. Fucking Kite senses... Well, I guess his radius would be about the same because he sensed her when she came out or whatever. I will not pick a gender to fucking talk about this character with. Even in this episode, they were calling it a thing, not a her or a he, so... But yeah. Kite senses her. Tells Gon and Killua to fucking bail. They don't. She shows up. Arm gone. Kite's arm just done immediately. Gon gets fucking pissed off. Killua knocks him out and they bail. And that's pretty much where we're left off. He pulls out his slot to get a new weapon. And that's where it cuts. And then we have Gon and Killua. And this is pretty much the Killua depressed mode of the episode. This episode was definitely a heavy downer. he's really depressed. He's talking about how we would have lost and this and that, and we weren't ready. And we see them. They get back all the way to the big trees and everything, and he's got Gon. Gon's still asleep, and what's their faces? Dinner and the dude who looks like a bear and the chick with the bubble gum. They show up with backup. The best possible backup you could have. Netero and these two other dudes who are probably really fucking strong. Only 3 dudes to exterminate the fucking Chimera ants. That says a lot. That clearly says a lot. I mean, but yeah, we've got Netero there, and he talks to Gon, or not Gon, Gon's asleep. He talks to Killua about, you know, some things. He even, we have this other dude who's like talking shit to Killua. He kind of just explains how a Nen fight works. Now the tide can turn at any time, and you can't really predict based on aura who will win, which is true. But then he's like, "Oh, you're lower than a loser. You're a fucking dumbass." And he's like, fucking totally shitting on Killua. And I'm like, "Fuck you! I hope a Chimera ant fucking kills you, dude." But no, he was kind of a dick though. The other guy was fine. Netero ends up giving Killua and Gon these little pieces of wood. Apparently, you know, the symbol on them. There's these 2 assassins, and Gon and Killua... Conveniently, there's 2 of them for Gon and Killua, of course. And it's basically... Fight them. If you can beat them, then you can come back into the Chimera Ant everything, you know. But if you can't, obviously you're not going back in. Killua doesn't really want to, I suppose. He's really in depressed mode. Takes Gon to a hotel or something. Gon wakes up. Thanks for not fucking... Thanks for knocking me out, bro. And Killua has these weird, like, he calls Gon, like, light, and he probably thinks of himself as darkness, and how should I still be with Gon? And I'm not even really sure why those are going through his mind. It's kind of weird. I mean, we'll probably get more into it as this arc continues, but it seems strange. I guess it's kind of been hinted at a little bit here and there, but it's odd to me. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole episode. And then we cut back to, well, we have Gon wake up, like I said, and Killua's like, because I went and rescued you, I let Kite die, and Gon's like, no, Kite's not dead. He wouldn't die like that easily. He's probably hiding. He's probably, you know, whatever. Gon's in for some bad fucking news, because it looks like Kite is stuck in the big tree in the sky right now, because we cut back, Neferpitu's talking to herself about, you know, whatever, and we see her just boom Kite's head in her lap, like, done, whatever. And the place around was damaged, and she did have a few scuffs, but just the fact that she fucking beat him that easily, or seemingly that easily, it's fucking crazy. Now, when I first saw Kite, and considering Togashi's track record with characters, I was like, okay, he seems more important, so he probably won't die. But if he does die, I think I actually said this in a review already, but if he does die, I won't be surprised. And if he is dead right now, I'm not surprised. But I still think if he is dead, that this is a major death that is without a doubt going to develop Gon? Who the fuck's Gon? Gon's character. It is going to develop Gon's character exponentially, or at least it should. But yeah, I want to see who these new assassins are. Gon and Killua aren't in the NGL anymore, which I think is really surprising. I didn't expect that. Now they're going to kind of go into training mode, which seems to happen like every arc except for fucking York New. But it's not that big of a deal, I guess. I mean, this time there's an opponent that's way stronger than them, and I understand. This isn't a time where I'm like, oh, why are they getting their asses kicked? No, I understand this time. But yeah, I want to see the new assassins. I want to see Netero go ham. He doesn't have to go, like, all out right from the gate, but it'll be cool to see him fight some, like, fodder ants and just fucking bitch them around with, like, little effort. What else? If Kite really is... Because the reason why I say if Kite's dead, because you'd think, oh, he has to be dead. It's fucking his head. But remember what conjurers are capable of. And he is a conjurer. So, you know, he's probably dead. If he's not, he used a conjuring ability, and that's what Neferpitu's holding. But I doubt it. He's probably dead, but there's always that chance. We didn't actually see the death happen. But yeah, If it is a major death, that's great. I think that's awesome. If it's not, it's a cool fake out at the very least. Netero's in. That's epic. Gon and Killua are going to get training / sparring or fighting with these two assassin guys. So a pretty damn good amount of progression in this episode, really. I'm going to go 9.5 out of 10. You know, fuck it, I'll go 10 out of 10 for this episode because it really was. I mean, major deaths are rare, especially in shonen. So the fact that that might have happened is a huge plus. The fact that it could and probably will develop Gon's character, which he is seriously in need of, his development. Then we have Killua getting his development. You know, they're not in the place anymore. Just tons of progress. Really great. 10 out of 10 for this episode of Hunter x Hunter. So thanks for watching this double review of Hunter x Hunter. Tell me what you guys thought of these episodes in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.